Righty. All right. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Deep State podcast. This is me, Deep. Hope you're all doing good. Okay, so in today's episode, it's going to be kind of a mix of everything. I wrote down everything I wanted to talk about because I like to just go off on just things and end up not talking about the things I want to talk about. So if you see me looking at here, it's because I have a list that I want to talk about today. Basically, it's just my whole last week, my life, the whole last week, and what was going on with it. And right off the bat, the very first thing I want to talk about. So last week, I went to my very first football game. It was really amazing. How I ended up at the football game, I have I probably have one of the best neighbors you can ever have. My neighbor, they're farmers. They do construction and farming. Their family, their son and daughter, they live behind my house. My neighbor's daughter, son-in-law, and daughter lives next on the right side of my house, and they live right here on this side. So I'm basically part of their family. And last week, right the day before the football game, they called. They'd be like, "Hey, what are you doing tomorrow?" I'm like, "Oh, nothing. I'm just watching the baby and nothing much after that." And they call me, and he called me, and he's like, "Okay, well, I would like to take you to a football game. Do you want to come?" And I looked at my wife, asked her if she'd be okay if I go, and she was like, "Yes, absolutely." I've never been to a football game, so it was very, very, very exciting. And it's crazy because I've been watching football for the past 10, 12 years, being living here in the US. And everything I've seen is just from the TV, right? So when I walked into the stadium and I saw the field, the massive field, it was just a surreal feeling. The energy was just different. And it was just, it was amazing. It was just amazing. We sat down, we had really nice seats. It was a nice, cloudy, sort of sunny day. We had heat on top. They had very nice seats. And I think we won, by the way. My team won, which was great. But I think out of the whole experience, the best feeling was when the whole field was covered by the American flag and people stood up for the national anthem. It was just the best feeling in the world. Yeah, it just felt like I was sitting among other many. I know there are many in there who probably don't like America and just one of those cringe liberals, but for the majority of the people, we're all singing national anthem together. It was the best feeling. I will never forget it. And God bless my neighbor who invited me to this game. It was just, it was just amazing. Um, yeah, so I recommend everyone if you if you're visiting the US, if you're here on a tourist, if you have a chance to attend a football game, like an NFL football game, please go. It's the best feeling ever. Life is short and you want to enjoy those kind of things. Talking about life, I also want to pay a little tribute to Marshawn Nealand. He's one of the players of the Cowboy Dallas. And I actually watched a video last week, or this week, earlier this week. He just scored his first touchdown. I'm like, wow. And he was only 24. And just this morning, about a few hours ago, I learned that he has passed away. I don't know how he passed away, but I just made me really sad. Like, life is very, very, very short. One moment he was just on top of his life and he scored a touchdown, and 2 days later he's no longer with us. And I'm going to be praying for him, and I hope you all do the same. But one lesson here, guys: live your life like it's your last day on here on Earth. Life is very fragile. Life is very short. You never know when something happens in your life, a tragedy or something. Which reminds me of like about a month and a half ago, I was dealing with this really intense migraine from one of the injuries I had from the military in the head. And during those 2, 3 weeks, I honestly, it felt like that this is it. And it was one of the most surreal and the craziest feelings that I have felt. So I would just, and anyone who's just watching this channel, I know it just, when you hear other people talk about these things, it, it doesn't, a lot of us don't listen to those conversations with the weight on their shoulder, but I really highly recommend, like, this is serious. Like, life is very short. Life is very fragile. We're only here for a short amount of time. And try to live your life the fullest. And yeah, but RIP Marshawn Nealand. I don't watch Dallas Cowboys, but I do remember watching that video, and it's just very, very, very sad. And yeah. All right. Another thing I want to talk about today is the elections in the U.S., and specifically from like a conservative point of view. One of the things I've noticed that a lot of conservatives and Republicans, we don't, we're really bad at going out to vote. And I've been noticing this for like past 1 decade, ever since I started voting here. I feel like Republicans and conservatives, we are so much talk, like during the family dinner tables, like, oh, this is happening. I'm so pissed off. They're doing this. In the local schools, they're putting all the gay trans propaganda. But when it actually comes to us going out to vote and changing that, we're so bad at it. And that's why every small town, every small city to big city in America, Democrats rule. They're really good at campaigning to, hey, go out and vote. And we're not. I don't understand how we will win a presidential election and then we'll just lose the local elections or midterms. I don't remember ever us winning in a mass winning during midterms. We always lose during midterms. I don't understand it. Maybe somebody here understands it. Maybe they can help me process why that happens. Part of me wonder is, I mean, conservatives, we do work a lot. A lot of the families that I live among next to me, a lot of blue collar worker, they just work a lot, and sometimes they just don't go out and vote. And I also want to say that same thing. All these influencers online and the right leaning politician, they put so much emphasis on presidential election every time, and then not enough on just midterms or like the small city mayor elections, and we always lose. I have never seen the same energy have for like a presidential elections versus the smaller or the midterm or Congress elections. They're just as important. A president is really, he can't do everything. Congress is really important, House is really important, Senate is really just as important. And the reason why there's so much indoctrination in so many small, in the middle of nowhere country cities around the US, it's because we don't go vote in those elections. We often forget. We don't even know what's happening. But Democrats, I gotta give it to them. They're so good at campaigning to go out and vote. It doesn't matter what election it's city board, school board. They're so good at it. One of the things, this little small city town that I'm from, I guess 80% of the people here registered to vote are Republicans. Yet, over 80 to 90% of the people who are in the school board, the city board, or the council members, the mayor, are all Democrats or all these liberal people. How that works, I don't understand it. Even now, I went out and voted for the city mayor, the school board, the council, and the judge elections. We lost. Like every single person I voted for lost, and I just my mind can't comprehend like how is that even possible if over 80% of the registered voters in my city are Republicans. We're just not voting. We're just not good at it. Especially all these young people. The young, I mean, look at the Mamdani, the mayor race. Over over 80% of the women uh, voted in that election, and they were all voted for Mamdani, and they were from the ages 18 to 29. They're just so good at it. And young conservative men, you all talk. You guys post on your Instagram stories or whatnot, get pissed off in conversation with your other brothers and friends about, oh, this was happening, liberals are doing this. You guys don't go out and vote, and it just so frustrating. Scott Pressler, if you don't know who it is, he's doing amazing work in Pennsylvania. He posted a video about 2 months ago. He outlined exactly how the election was going to play out, and he was right. He knew we were going to lose Virginia. He knew we were going to lose New Jersey. He outlined exactly how it was going to play out because he sees it, and he was absolutely right. So it's just so sad. It makes me so sad about it. And if you guys want what I think of Mamdani won in New York election, I honestly have no thoughts on it. Am I disappointed? No, not really. Why would I be disappointed? I had no expectations from voters in New York City. I mean, majority of the voters in New York City, I was looking at the numbers, are foreign born who lived in the city less than 5 years. I mean, when you import from all these third world nations, they're gonna come in and vote for those third world options. I'm not just how it is. I'm not surprised. Honestly, I'm in a way kind of happy because I was explaining this in my last video. Guys, every single politician in the major city in the United States, they're all they're all basically socialist communists. They just didn't run on the campaign that they're socialists. He actually did, and then he won, which is great. Maybe I mean most of the leftists are just complete no brain cell brainwashed people, and they're never gonna wake up. But I'm hopeful maybe at least maybe the 5% of the liberals that have some brain cells, when they see the failed policies of this communist, they will wake up and they will switch sides, and that's all it really takes. That the 5%. So I'm not sad. He lost. Well, he won, and all of his policies gonna basically ruin the New York City. And as sad as it sound, I kind of hope they do. And then another thing too, media is on his side, and Democrats gonna lie, and they're gonna say, oh, all the policies failed because of the billionaires. All the policies failed because of Trump. The end answer is always Trump, which makes me wonder, like, what are these politicians? Who are they gonna blame after Trump is done with his term, 2028? That's it. Trump's done. Who the media is gonna blame? I'm It'd be interesting to watch how that played out. But yeah, I'm not surprised. He won. Whatever, great. He's gonna ruin the city. He's an actor. Um, yeah, that's all. That's all I have to say. On that note, I am very sad that Nancy Pelosi is retiring. I'm like very 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 sad. Why? Because I was finally was able to start making some money following her trades in the stock market. And now she's retiring. Here goes my portfolio. Who am I gonna follow next? Guys, can you tell me so I can follow a different person? Please leave that in the comments, guys. So nothing else I have to say about Nancy Pelosi. On the serious note, am I surprised? I'm actually kind of surprised. I'm surprised that she's not running for re-election. I actually seen her in person in San Francisco. She was walking by. She could barely walk. She was wearing a really, really fancy clothing. She was walking into Fifth Avenue, Saks, whatever the name of that store is. She's already so old. That was back in 2022. Good for her though. You know, politics aside, she's old. Live rest of your life. Like enjoy life, Nancy. That's all I have for you. Good luck. But yes, I'm kind of sad. Whose straight am I gonna follow? We do need term limits for Congress. Like all these people who doing the no king protests, you guys have the most kings and queens. Chuck Schumer, you got Nancy Pelosi, a lot of the other old people. Um, anyways, one more thing I want to talk about. This podcast is going to be very small. I got a lot to do today, guys. I work later, and my wife wants me to take her to the bank to do some paperwork stuff there. I have to put her on the same savings account. We have a joint account. And if you're married, you don't have a joint account, guys, get a joint account. Like, I don't know. That just might take us. But anyways, something I want to talk about, nothing to do with politics or anything. It's about this iPhone. So I have been using the 15 Pro Max. It's actually the phone I'm recording from right now for a while. It's a great phone. I don't like to have cases, but got a case for that one because I kept breaking my back glass on it. Anyways, I switched to the iPhone Air, and guys, I love this phone. I feel like Apple finally did some engineering in a long time, and and some design too. I think Apple's design was just kind of been going downhill for a long time. I think Steve Jobs would have been proud. Like, finally, some engineering. iPhone 4 had a great design, iPhone X had a great design, and now iPhone Air. I love this phone. I like holding it, and it's great. This is going to be my phone from the future. And a lot of people in the comments are going to say, like, oh, it doesn't have the best camera. Guys, I nobody needs all those cameras. I've been using 15 Pro Max, and before that I had the 13 Pro Max. Nobody needs all those cameras. I'll almost never use the macro photography. Or I don't need to zoom out that much. Also, even though if you do zoom out that far out, when you take the picture, it's always blurry. So a wider camera would have been nice, but if anything, it's making me push my boundaries to be more creative for how am I going to take photos. So I love that. It just less distracting. It's just simple iPhone, and yeah, I love this. Love this phone. Lastly, I want to talk about we're supposed to have a guest today on our podcast today. Unfortunately, some kind of life event happened with her, and she's not gonna be joining us. I don't know when she gonna join us. I'll leave that up to her. We'll try to reschedule something in the future. But until then, I have nothing else to talk about. I wrote these things I wanted to make sure want to talk about. I talked about all those. Hope you guys had a great week. I'll try to make another video possibly Sunday, maybe Monday. Definitely Monday. And yeah, I love you all. Thank you for everything, and I'll see you on the next time.